Welcome back. There's been growing talk around the Eswatini National Provident Fund's much anticipated conversion into a national pension fund and what this means for the Public Service Pensions Fund. Now, reports indicate a level of concern from the PSPF, sparking concerns about overlap, role clarity, as well as the future of pension fund management in the country. Now, as the ENPF moves to redefine its mandate, where does that leave the PSPF? Can it maintain its position in a rapidly evolving pension landscape, or will it be compelled to reposition? We're now joined by Jetron Langamandla. He is the Director of Operations at PSPF and is going to break down the transition, the uncertainties, and what is truly at stake. Ndugo, good afternoon. Welcome to the program. How are you?
Welcome, Ngoni. Thank you. I'm fine.
It's such an interesting time because, you know, whenever there's something that makes people have conversations, you get into a public transport, into a kumbi. This is the conversation. You go to church. Some churches have break time. That is the conversation during break time. At church, sometimes even after church. Perhaps we can start by looking at the legal framework and membership. Could you briefly explain the legal framework under which the PSPF operates? How are the members of the fund paid, and who qualifies for membership in the PSPF?
Okay, thank you, Ngoni. The Public Service Pensions Fund operates under a clearly defined legal framework established in 1993 by the Public Service Pensions Order. The fund was created specifically for the management of and administration of pensions for government employees. So this framework ensures that the fund is going to operate and function with transparency, it's going to function with accountability, and it's going to function within the law itself and within other laws that are legislation in the country.
Interesting. I think that is succinct and is very clear. If we look at the position on ENPF conversion now, the Eswatini National Provident Fund is currently undergoing a conversion into a pension scheme, right? There have been reports suggesting that the PSPF may be opposed to this move, which is interesting. Could you clarify your position on this matter? If the PSPF has concerns, what specifically are you opposed to?
Maybe let's put this to bed and clarify that as PSPF, we are not opposed to the conversion.
Okay.
We support it fully. We want our Maswati to have pension after their working period, and that is what everyone wants. It would be madness for someone to oppose that. We don't oppose it. But what we should actually tell people is that we are asking for careful consideration of the transition and the formation of the ENPF conversion. What really is concerning us is the integration of civil servants into the new ENPF scheme, that it must not pose a financial strain to PSPF itself. At the same time, we are concerned that the conversion should not affect PSPF's ability to maintain current benefit levels that are enjoyable by the members currently. If that is in place, we are sure that both funds must remain sustainable and would like that to happen going forward. And we want to ensure that PSPF's statutory role in serving public servants remains clear, even in the bill, in the time of the bill. And post-implementation of the bill, it must be clear that we have a role and a statutory role to serve public servants.
It sounds like a fair session to me. It really is fair. And those are careful considerations indeed. But I suppose there comes dual membership implications. And we ought to ask the question, what would be the implications, both administrative as well as financial, if a civil servant were to contribute to both the PSPF and the ENPF simultaneously?
Okay, thank you for that, Mgoni. There will be split of the contributions, right?
Right.
So managing contribution and benefits of members in ENPF and also in PSPF is going to cause administrative strain. These are two businesses that are running their own different strategies. So ENPF is going to get asset managers to manage the portion of contributions that were received by PSPF. PSPF will also receiving a portion. So there will be administrative costs that inevitably you cannot avoid them. That the same money that is managed by PSPF would be managed in two institutions now. One institution is going to pay a certain amount of administrative cost, and the other will pay a certain administrative amount of cost for the same amount that was paid by PSPF. Administratively, it's going to be expensive to do that.
As it should.
That is one. Yeah, besides just the employees that are being employed, but the experts that are taking care of the returns or of the assets to ensure that there are returns. Those experts will charge a certain amount of money. So administratively, it's going to be costly.
Financially, I mean, we've covered the administrative aspect, and I think it is quite clear that it is going to be costly. I think you are candid when mentioning that these are two entities, and therefore, if it's split, it's going to be costly administratively. I suppose financially that is also the case.
Look, let me explain how a pension fund works.
Okay.
Financially, this dual membership is going to reduce the funding base of PSPF as contributions are going to be split or redirected to the other entity, affecting our ability and obligations. Our obligations is to the members in the long term of the members. When we talk about long term, we talk of in a defined benefit. The current working members are the ones that are paying the annuity of the retired members. When a scheme is well run, a retirement scheme is well run, you must receive sufficient contributions to pay the annuities, and there must be a remainder to invest to grow the asset. So when the asset is reduced, the contributions are reduced, our ability to pay continuously the retired members will be affected. Our ability, number two, to invest and grow the asset themselves and make a provision for the ones that are still working will be affected. There is no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So those will be affected financially.
You did mention that there's careful consideration that as everything develops, as this whole thing happens, you do not stray away from your mandate. And one wants to ask, with regards to competitiveness as well as innovation, in light of the evolving pension reforms and increased member expectations, what is the PSPF doing to maintain or to remain competitive, as well as continue providing value to its members?
We've got a huge task ahead of us with these emerging threats to the fund, that we must be enhancing our investment strategies. Investment strategies must be optimized to safeguard the returns of their members. We are going to do that. We are going to ensure that there is prudent risk management to protect the fund against economic uncertainties.
Right.
We will continue to modernize and ensure that our members are getting feedback, are getting instant information and communication.
In terms of projections, what would you say your deficit is going to look like if you were to project just the deficit from this whole thing?
Look, the deficit is a number that is saying if you were to pay the current members now,
right,
pay their future, you're projecting that now we have 42,000 members, and we compute that if we pay them now, what will it cost? So the current deficit is just below 5 billion. So if you project that deficit going forward, it is going to be worse, the deficit, for the reason that you'll be having pensioners that are consistently receiving a pension, but their contribution that are being received do not match the benefits that are coming. So the deficit is going to grow.
If the conversion of the ENPF into a pension scheme proceeds as currently proposed, what impact will this have on the sustainability and future of the PSPF? Do you believe the PSPF will remain viable in the long term?
In its current form, that is PSPF,
Right.
the business is very viable in its current form.
No doubt.
We have strategies in place, we have the way to grow the business. But if the bill continues in its current form, the sustainability of PSPF is threatened. It's threatened in the sense that there will be a time where the contributions that are being received will not be able to match the benefits that will be paid. And that is not a very long time to happen. It is threatened by the contributions that are being reduced. But in its current form, it is viable business.
No doubt. Thank you so much, Mr. Ndlangamandla. He is speaking on what the ENPF's transition to a pension fund means for the PSPF. Really, really, understandable answers that he has given us. Very clear, very comprehensible. And ours is to continue to track the story as it continues to develop. But for now, this is what we have, and quite satisfying, if I may say so myself. We'll go for an ad break. We have Sanela Sbia for our market analysis after the ad break.